Good morning, everybody. Welcome into this Saturday morning edition of the 5 Minute Morning Devotion. And I'm so glad that you chose to join me today for this episode. Now, we're going to continue reading in Psalms, and today we are on Psalms chapter 9 and verse 1. The Bible says, I will give thanks to the Lord with my whole heart. I will recount all of your wonderful deeds. I will be glad and exult in you. I will sing praise to your name, O Most High. When my enemies turn back, they stumble and perish before your presence. For you have maintained my just cause. You have sat on the throne giving righteous judgment. You have rebuked the nations. You have made the wicked perish. You have blotted out their name forever and ever. The enemy came to an end and everlasting ruins. Their cities you rooted out. The very memory of them has perished. But the Lord sits enthroned forever. He has established his throne for justice. He judges the world with righteousness. He judges the people with uprightness. The Lord is a stronghold for the oppressed, a stronghold in times of trouble. And those who know your name put their trust in you. For you, O Lord, have not forsaken those who seek you. Sing praises to the Lord who sits enthroned in Zion. Tell among the peoples his deeds. For he who avenges blood is mindful of them. He does not forget the cry of the afflicted. Be gracious to me, O Lord. See my affliction from those who hate me. O you who lift me up from the gates of death, that I may recount all your praises, that in the gates of the daughter of Zion I may rejoice in your salvation. The nations have sunk in the pit that they have made, and the net that they hid, their own foot has been caught. The Lord has made himself known. He has executed judgment. The wicked are snared in the work of their own hands. Higgaion. The wicked shall return to Sheol, or the grave. All the nations that forget God, the needy shall not always be forgotten, and the hope of the poor shall not perish forever. Arise, O Lord, let not man prevail. Let the nations be judged before you. Put them in fear, O Lord. Let the nations know that they are but men. Selah. Now, David starts this psalm with thanks unto the Lord from his mind or his heart. This word heart here means the mind, the intellect, the thinking, the rationale. And so David says, Lord, I thank you. Thank you for what you have done for me. I am mindful, so I am thankful. He gives reference to the reason why he's thankful. It is because God has not allowed his enemies to overtake him, but rather his enemies fell in defeat because God's protection for him. He was thankful that he was not among his enemies when they fell, but he was among the righteous, among those who the Lord avenged. The next thing that David says, he says, Lord, your throne is forever. It is established. No one will ever dethrone you, O Lord. You will reign forever. And from that throne, you, O Lord, judge in righteousness and you judge uprightly. He said, Lord, you will not misjudge and you will not mishandle your people, but you will judge them in righteousness and uprightness. Ladies and gentlemen, it pays to serve the Lord. It pays to walk with him. Because when you do, the day of judgment, when it comes, you will be in right standing with the Lord. And so he says, your throne is established forever. And on that throne, you're going to judge, and you're going to judge those right who have walked with you. The next thing he says is the Lord is a stronghold for those who are oppressed. I'm going to tell you something today. If you're being oppressed and you're being attacked on every side by an enemy, I want you to know that the Lord is a safe place for you. He said he is a place for those who are oppressed and in trouble. They can find refuge in him. Those who trust in the Lord will always have a place of safety and shelter because that's what our God is. He is available for those who call upon his name. He said those that walk in unrighteousness, they will fall in their own pit. Their actions will be their own demise. Eventually, man will not prevail in his own way. Their way will be cast down in the day of reckoning and judgment. He said, in arrogance, he falls to the work of his own hands, a man that walks in righteousness. Lastly, but not least, he said, God will arise and be gracious and will allow his servant to prevail and will one day put all the nations in fear when they understand that they are facing a God who is just and holy, but a God that they have not served. Let me tell you something today. Don't be among those who fall prey to the judgment of God and not the graciousness of God in judgment. God's plan and purpose will always prevail. God will arise, and his enemies will be scattered. I want to be on the Lord's side today. How about you?